And this is one of my most requested videos that I've been asked for. So hopefully some people come in and to see this. Anyway, so today we're talking full moon. I will get my full moon stuff out in a little bit. I was actually talking to my daughter, my eldest, about this sale. Hey, Tennessee, because right now full moon is having a 4th of July sale going on. One of the most requested things on my channel in the last hey, Cinema Dave, welcome. I actually tweeted at your last video, which was really good, by the way. One of my most requested things is to talk about full moon, which apparently I don't do enough. Hey, George. I don't do enough talk about full moon, so they've had some sales going on recently. And, oh, it was actually really good, so thank you, by the way. What I did want to talk about, and I will talk about this a little bit later, is with the sale to Barnes & Noble, to the holding company. Then what's the? Hey, Stack, welcome. I'm a little concerned that they're gonna want to go in, and because Barnes & Noble wasn't doing the best. That's why it got sold. They're going to want to laser focus what they're doing, and the ones that really want to keep Barnes & Noble around, the ones that like seriously like they're hitching their train to this, is like Simon Schuster, like many of the book companies, you know, where they have like a good physical presence in Barnes & Noble. That being said, I know the way that it works with a lot of bookstores. I saw it happen here in Canada with our Chapters and Coles affiliates. Basically, the only reason we don't have a Barnes & Noble here in Canada, which because they did want to come here, was basically because Chapters and Coles is this huge book conglomerate here, and they've kept other bookstores out. But the thing is that what Chapters and Coles had to do, this is the same thing, it's just a different name, a few years back, was they had to focus. So they decided to focus, not this time, not this one. They decided to focus on the books. And so all the movies that used to sell, the Criterions, all that type of stuff got taken out. And it was books, and it became like their like some electronic stuff that they used to, like book-related electronic stuff, you know, like the Kindles, Kobo, stuff like that. So the laser focused on that. And my biggest concern right now is we may be seeing the last Criterion sale due to this. Like I have, right now I'm just going on conjecture and like running the scenario through my head. If this isn't the last one, then I can see it being weeded out, that we may soon see the last Criterion sale coming, because we may see physical media going out of Barnes & Noble much in the same way that's been like lowered in like places like Best Buy and stuff like that, so that they can laser focus on what they think is going to sell for them, and what's going to keep their costs down. That's usually the way it goes. That's why you see less. That's why when you go to your Best Buy, you see a lot less movies in there right now. And when you're going to your Barnes & Noble, you're going to see stuff like that. I unfortunately have overspent on like the recent sales. I would kill to be able to. I got to send this to my daughter here. Picture. I got my computer here, by the way. That way I can actually look at the Full Moon website and show you guys. I would kill to get Criterion. If this is the last sale, and I'm going to be bummed, because that means I'm not going to get something in the last Criterion sale. And that really bummed me out. Not going to lie to you. But money. Unfortunately, it's not infinite, and I don't have a ton of it. So I'll just show you guys here what I got done, what I got set up, so that you guys know, like when I'm looking over here, what's going on before we go into the full moon thing. Here we go. So let's do the turnaround thing. So this is my computer right here. So laptop's an Acer Nitro 5. Hey, Corey. And you see I got to put on the Full Moon Direct website there, so we can actually talk about stuff that's going on with the It's a sad state for some physical media places. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but people are gonna regret this when they get so into streaming. And oh, actually, no, I didn't. The thing is, I'll explain it actually. These are still broken, but I pushed them back as much as I could, so hopefully they don't look. Are they look okay? They don't look too slanted. I've got to go in there in about a week or two, and these frames are not available anymore. So I got to pick a new frame. And I've got another pair of glasses, kind of like a smaller frame, because I wanted a smaller frame for my face. But for these here, I might get large. I wanted to get, no word of a lie, there's these round glasses, these round, I don't know, John Lennon style glasses that I that I wanted to pick up, right? And I got there, and Hin was like, that's my better half, that's her name. So I was looking at different glasses, and I had these like kind of like smaller versions of these kind of type thing, kind of more of a wire frame. And I had this like these round pair, but I could see she wasn't quite sold on them, right? And she was like, those are, it's up to you. Those are okay. And so, hey, Adrian, welcome to Chicago Horror. I got outside, and I'm like, because I didn't pick the round ones, pick the other ones. Am I really? Help me get there, guys. Help me get there. We got outside, and I said, you didn't like those round frames, did you? And she's like, well, he said, you've got the blonde hair and the blue eyes, and with the round frames, you'd be like the Nazi from Indiana Jones. And she didn't want to look at me and see Nazi. That was like in her head. That was her reasoning. I love her so much for that, actually. Okay, do you guys want us to talk about like full moon first, or did you want to talk more about the Criterion thing, or because we're going to keep it pretty open, pretty free flow. I will tell you right now the way that the price breakdown is going. She's a huge like fan of like of Indiana, probably the biggest Indiana Jones fan I've seen. So this is the way the price breakdown is going for the full moon website, but we're going to go into the different details and stuff like that. So all single DVDs are going to be $6. All single Blu-rays are $10. The 3-disc Blu-ray box sets that they got are going to be $18 each. There's the Surrender Cinema, like they're kind of like erotica type one, I guess, like light erotica, is $45. They have a Jess Franco collection, which is a 10 DVD set. That's running at $50. They have their Wizard Video Big Box VHS. Now it's the Wizard ones. That doesn't include the Parasite or the vintage VHS collections. Those are going at $25 a piece. Their bobbleheads are going at $10. The Ghoulies resin statue is going for $20. The Jack Attack is going for $20. They have $14 plushies. All Delirium back issues, like not signed, are going to be going for $5. And the mini action figures are going to be going for $5. They have the Puppet Master Collector's Trunk. I'm sure you guys have all seen that. Limited to 150, and that usually sells for quite the amount, and that's going for $250. Free domestic shipping, so if you live in the US, for any order over $50, and if you buy a certain amount, if you buy if you buy like the Puppet Master trunk, for instance, I'll actually bring my thing over to show you guys. Thank you. Then you get $50 gift code to use on the site for something else. So it's like you're paying $200 for the trunk, really. And if you haven't seen the trunk, I will kind of tell you what, I'll show you guys, because I think that's worth like sharing. This is where I need rich friends, like that love me and want to get me. So let's see the trunk here. I don't know whether I should like just turn the camera onto this or not. I got a new laptop recently. Hadn't had one in a few years, and I did go with a gaming laptop for if I ever want to do it. So right here, you can see the trunk right there, and that has, I think, all of the Puppet Master films in there. Hey, Jesse. And you can see there's a Blade figurine there as well. It's in a trunk. I'm not quite sure what the trunk material is made out of, whether it's like, cardboard or it's kind of some type of special thing that's made out of. And it's definitely one that if I had the $250, I'd buy it. Actually, it's not too bad at $250. You can see but it's nice blade. Not quite Wesley Snipes' blade. The Rio blade, the blade from the Puppet Master films. What's neat about the Franco collection is that it has it's got 10 Franco films. They're on DVD. I still collect DVD as well as Blu-ray and Laserdisc and VHS and all that stuff. But when you put them together, much like the Shameless ones, it actually makes a picture. That's my Batman 1966 collection, right alongside of my Batman the Animated Series collection, right alongside of my Batman Beyond collection. I like Batman. Do they ship to Canada? Yes, Full Moon does ship to Canada. I'm not quite sure of their shipping. Like how much their shipping costs. Yeah, well, actually, they recently made a kind of a reboot of Puppet Master, like in almost like an alternate universe Puppet Master, done by I think the guy that did Bone Tomahawk. It was pretty bloody. The puppets were like Nazi puppets. They were like bad guys in it. It was actually pretty cool. So let's see. Rather than seeing my face, maybe I can show you guys the computer and we can go with that. All right. Access, yeah. Let's see if I can do this because I don't want to be. All right. This is my first time, as you can tell, using my computer here. And that's not going to work. So, how are we going to do this? Because this is higher, and that means I got to move this down. So, are you ready? I'm going to move this down here, I guess, to see. Huh. That's going to be interesting. Or maybe I'm not. Okay, we're going to try that. If that doesn't work, then, whoa, that's way too much of me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over like this. I'm interested in a lot of full moon. This is so not going to work here. What I had hoped to do was show it like this and go from there. So you'll see it for a second anyway. And if you guys want to go to your computers to follow along yourselves, you can. As you can see, the Franco collection is right here. And you can see that it makes up a picture along there. You can see the Blade and Torch bobbleheads, the action figures. There's the resin statues there. We can see some of the single DVD Blu-rays there, and the oh, nice. Piranha's very loved in this house. That was going on here. And you can see the single DVDs, Delirium magazine, Blu-ray box sets like Trancers, the Dollman movies, stuff like that. The VHS, what the hell? Oh, there, my thing's going on there, so and the VHS, like I Spit on Your Grave and Zombie. You can see those there. All right, so it's going to work better, I think, if we actually just talk about it. So, admire the Batman for a second while I get this straightened away. Hey, Ken, what are your thoughts, by the way, Ken, on the possibility of Barnes & Noble not doing Criterion anymore? I am so pissed with this thing right now. All right, for any newcomers, it's not usually this hectic. Well, it's mostly conjecture, but Ken, basically, Barnes & Noble wasn't doing well. Barnes & Noble was sold to another company, a company that bought a bookstore in, in London as well, bought a book chain in London. With the sale of Barnes & Noble, and with books being, kind of what their focus is, and what a lot of the book companies like really want Barnes & Noble around for, it, it's definitely worth thinking about because it happened here in Canada, basically. We have Chapters, Coles, which is kind of like Barnes & Noble. But we also lost all our physical media. Like, and that was a big thing with us, but because they decided, they were going to focus strongly on the on books and like basically cut some cost. And with Barnes & Noble being like getting ready to go out of business and then having like this company buy them, one has to think that that may be a serious option. So I wanted to get that out there. I want people's thoughts on that. Tonight we're talking full moon. Now, somebody just mentioned the new "I Spit on Your Grave" movie. I watched it actually. It runs over 2 hours long. I liked the original "I Spit on Your Grave" movie. I did. I even liked the remake. For what it was, and like sequels were so. But the new film, man, I never have I wanted to go in liking a movie so much as I did with the new Spin Your Grave film. But I'll be honest with you, it it's not very good. But it's not like that. It's not that good of a film, and it does seem. Whereas the original "Spit in Your Grave," Day of the Woman, the original title, seemed like it was really like it had something to say. You could tell it came out of the experience from the director and like what went on. This one's just seemed like it didn't seem like it. Yes, I saw that on your video. That's actually one of the things that got me wondering about that. And I've heard other people say that as well, that the Criterion, there's been less Criterions. Well, yeah, there's there's a remake of "I Spit in Your Grave" and there's 2 sequels to it. But the new one is really bad. I haven't seen V. I don't think I've seen them at all. Is there? I think there's only 2. Like there's the first one, the second one, and the third one, which kind of brings it all around. Because the second one seems like kind of almost on its own thing, but then the third one comes. I think maybe you're right actually. Because I remember one like in another country or something like that. Was that "I Spit in Your Grave"? Like where she goes like as a model or something, and she ends up in another country. It was, I'm pretty sure it was like she goes in and like like this she's modeling for these 2 Russian people or somewhere some other, and they drug her and then she ends up in another country and she basically I think what happens is like the one of the brothers actually gets obsessed with her and he actually breaks into her house and he kills somebody next to her But it's so maybe that's part two. But part three was like going coming kind of coming back around, going like talking about with therapists and all that type of stuff. Um, I know way too much about these sequels. But the new one is really not good. I'm sad because Camille Keaton I really like, uh, but it's really not a very good film. It's basically in the new one she has a daughter who's a model. Uh, Actually, not just a model. The best model and the most famous attractive model. I'm not joking. They kind of go out of their way to say that she's the most famous model in the world, and she kind of just wants to stop her famous modeling and settle down, I guess. But then some people from the town that her mom was from come and kidnap her and put them in a van, and shenanigans ensue. And a good time is had by no one. It runs over 2 hours long. It grates on it, and the acting is not up to par. But Camille Keaton's still really cool. But unfortunately, she's not given anything to work with this. The script is kind of weak, and the people that are acting alongside her are just most of them really. Yeah. Anyway, full moon, full moon. Let's talk happy thoughts. Let's think happy thoughts. All right, so let's dive in here. I'm sure you guys are familiar with full moon. If you're not, basically a quick rundown is there's Charles Band who is. I definitely think we are actually going to get one, Ken. Uh, who was the son of Albert Band, who was like a famous like movie producer director. Charles Band kind of followed in his father's footsteps with help from his father. Charles Band was a huge comic book fan. That will come into play in a second here. He had a company called Empire Pictures, made movies like Dolls and stuff like that. Um, then he ended up doing Full Moon. He wanted to do something different with Full Moon. He wanted movies that would stand out on the rental rack, and he wanted them to be more interactive. He wanted to be able to like really build a fan base within his films. So with movies like Puppet Master, Demonic Toys, Subspecies, Trancers, they almost had Robot Jacks were perfect. They almost had like a kind of a comic book aesthetic, a comic book feel to the films, especially when you got to see like sequels and stuff coming in. Charles Band will put what would be called Full Moon's video zones, which was an ingenious idea long before we got features and stuff like that at the end of his movies. So you'd wait after the credits of the film, you'd get like some behind the scenes stuff. You know, we talked about another film, kind of promoting another film, promoting some of the merchandise. It was a treat to watch. Uh, Castle Freak is one of the later Full Moons, one of my favorites. It's actually being remade right now, Ken. Uh, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. We'll see how it works. Because it's a really good one, and it's one of the Lovecraftian ones. Yeah, Paul Rudd in Ghostbusters. Yeah, I know. That guy never ages, man. So that's pretty much a rundown of Full Moon. Their biggest franchises have been the Puppet Master franchise, where there's a lot of them going on right now. They're still going on. It just recently got rebooted. There is, of course, the Trancers franchise, which is like their kind of like their science fiction one. Subspecies, which is their vampire franchise. I'm very surprised they didn't actually do more with that around like when Twilight became a big craze. I'm surprised they didn't like do like a Trancers, kind of like a Twilightish type thing, kind of like when Howling Reborn came out. Um, their later franchises that came out. The ones that I'm not a big fan of are the Ginger Dead Man series. Oblivion 1 and 2 are amazing. George Takei is actually, it's one or both of those actually. And there is the, oh God, what else was there? So, Evil Bong, which sucks too. But some people like it. So I'm guessing those people smoke a lot more weed than I do. So, so basically the way this is working here, it's being broken down. We're going to go through this. So if you want to get the trunk, for instance, that one's expensive. That's $250, and a good full moon release for a first time buyer. I mean, I'd go for an early thing. I mean, like you seem like a guy that likes more like the kind of the quality, like the classy stuff. I like a lot of Z grade, but there's a lot of like really like good earlier uh, full moon stuff. Yeah, don't go with Ginger Dead Man. So some of their earlier stuff is definitely the stuff to go towards. Like when they did their original like first few couple like Puppet Master films, the first three I think are money. Uh, you got like some good actors. Paul Lamont is in like Puppet Master. You get to see like people like oh god, like so many. With the first three Puppet Master, actually, I wouldn't go for Killjoy for like a first time like person like into Full Moon. Killjoy is like a later thing. Subspecies, for instance, might be if you're a vampire fan. The first Subspecies is a really good film, and what really makes it like what really sells it, aside from the fact that Anders Hove plays an amazing character in the character of Radu, who's a vampire, very much in the way of like a kind of like in the Salem's Lot, like a style vampire. But it's actually shot in Romania. Charles Band actually bought a castle over there, so a few of his films got shot over there. So definitely, it's got a great cast. I think it's very well done, very atmospheric. So the original transfers, oh, the original Subspecies, definitely. There were four in total. There were three Subspecies films. I think there may be a fourth, but there's a kind of a knockoff called Vampire Diaries. Not a knockoff, but like a kind of like a spin-off called Vampire Diaries, and it does use the character of Radu as well. Actually, it was the kind of like the dad, the replacement dad in Death Valley. As far as like the like science fiction go, if you like science fiction, then there's the Trancers films. There are 4 or 5 of those. But the for the Trancers films, thank you, so 13th Wolfman, who I spoke with on Facebook when I made my Facebook video. Uh, the Trancers films like are more science fiction oriented. The have just they're very well done. The third one is my favorite because it's got Andrew Robinson in it, and I'm a really big Andrew Robinson fan. Dirty Harry, all that type of stuff, Hellraiser. And if you're like a fan of the evil puppet stuff, I still the first three Puppet Masters, original Subspecies, the first three Trancers. Trancers 3 is my favorite, but you got to again start with the original. Those are standouts. Those are ones that I would say would stand out. But I'm actually going to look through what's here, so I'll actually let you know. Now, if you're a fan of the erotica, then they have something called the Surrender Cinema Pleasure box set. And what that is, for people that aren't familiar, is basically Full Moon. Oh, you're a bad man. Did a bunch of spin-off stuff. So they did one which was like Surrender Cinema, which was more of like you could call them adult titles. I guess it was going for the Cinemax type of branch, but they're very innocent adult titles, to be honest with you, because they really weren't like into that. And they did like a children's line as well for kids movies, fantasy films. Yeah, very softcore, the softest of the softcore. I consider those, and so I would say, dude, if you're going for something, go for one like the box sets. Go like for like a Puppet Master Subspecies box set. Usually around $18 type thing. But if you're a fan of their Surrender Cinema stuff, let me just see what's on the set. There is the Erotic Castle Wax, Femalian, I'm not joking here, Hidden Beauties, The Awakening, Lolita 2000, Femalian 2, Dungeon of Desire. I haven't seen half these movies. Virgins of Sherwood Forest, Virtual Encounters, actually, I thought when I was younger. Virtual Encounters 2, The Erotic Time Machine, The Erotic Time Machine 2, and Pleasure Craft, and that's usually like a $90 box set going for $45 right now. You also have a Jess Franco box set if you're a Jess Franco fan. It comes together to make like a Jess Franco face and a kind of a collage in the background. Yeah, pretty much. All Cinemax staples. And the movies on here actually got some classic Jess Franco stuff, so might surprise you there. So you got Barbed Wire Dolls, Blue Rita, Jack the Ripper, of course, with Klaus Kinski, It has Love Letters of a Portuguese Nun, Love Camp, Marquis de Sade, Sexy Sisters, Slaves, Women in Cell Block 9, and Voodoo Passion. But don't think that, that they just have erotic stuff. Actually, erotic stuff is what they rarely have. That's like very like little of their stuff. I'm on Full Moon Direct right now, Warlocks, because that's where the sale's going on. And I figured the best way to do it was just bring my computer down so I can actually go through these with you guys. And any questions you got about any of them, like ask me, and we'll go through the whole sale here. Puppet Master 1 to 3's got a slimline set right now. It's $18. And the first three Puppet Master are the money ones for me. Like I like 4 and 5 as well. They're fun. But you can stop at part 3 and you can be like, you have a happy Puppet Master image without the later ones. Puppet Master went on much too long, much longer than it should have. And yeah, they did. So they were films, but the first 3 are really good and are extremely well done, or well acted. The production value is still pretty high. You got the David Allen like stop motion animation. I'm a huge stop motion animation fan. You guys know I'm a Ray Harryhausen fan, and I love the work on Puppet Master. It is good. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It took me a while to get used to it, but because I like them as good guys, not as good guys, but as like I like them not as Nazis. I really wish, like really wish, that when they rebooted Puppet Master, they would have said, you know what, let's forget the Nazi part of this right now. No, it's been done to death because the last few Puppet Master films, they all like they're fighting Nazis. Oh, what's going to happen in the next one? They're fighting more Nazis. They're fighting Nazis with puppets. They're fighting Nazis with like mystical guys on a train, and who's playing Andre Toulon? Why, it's the guy from The Room. I'm not joking. Craig Sestero is like one of the guys that plays young Andre Toulon in the later films. It's a partial, like not so much as it's getting lazy as the fact that there was a point in Full Moon, like as in Charles Band's like Time with Full Moon, when he lost the rights to his major characters. He lost the ability to make Puppet Master films and that. So that's why you got to see that Puppet Master film that came out that was done on the Sci-Fi Channel. It was basically clips and stuff. It had like Corey Feldman in it. Not a good movie, but worth a watch if you're really bored and just going through all the films. But I think like he ran low on money, and later on it seemed like he ran low on ideas too. But the first 5 are good, are solid. The first 3 are a great arc. Yeah, you remember it too, right? I think it's Vanessa Angel too in that one, isn't it? Like Corey Feldman and Vanessa Angel. Quite a combination. Subspecies films are all filmed in Romania. So there's always a big plus with those. Again, there's a 1 to 3 $18 box set. I do recommend those if you like gothic horror and that type of stuff. I was not a big fan of the mummy character that was introduced in part 2. I like the effects with the mummy character, but the character was just a little over the top for me, a little bit too comic bookish. But Radu was so well done, and I like the kind of in the first film you got Agnes Scrims, it's pretty much as like the king of vampires type thing. He's the the Dracula character. He's a small part in the film, but still important. And I like the brother in the first film. I like the dynamic between Radu and his brother. Yeah, the first 3 Puppet Masters are so well done, and like 4 and 5 work together. They're shot back to back, right? Like so they kind of work together. They're trying to do like a Puppet Wars thing. That's what they wanted to do. Bring the totem characters in and do like Puppet Wars. But Puppet Master 1 to 3, like number 1 works like as a good solid like little like horror flick, set out hotel Bodega Bay, right? Number 2 goes straight into horror. It's these puppets, it all depends on their master, right? So these puppets aren't exactly the good puppets right now. Torch is introduced in part 2. I love Torch. Torch is like deadly, like not a nice guy. What happens in part 2? Torch is a kid in part 2. That's what happens in part 2. And in part 3 we get like it's a prequel. We get the one like the origin, the puppet master of the puppets and of Andre Toulon, and we see like how they came to be. Like it goes to Nazi Germany. Do you really? So that's really really well done. And unfortunately, because 3 was so well regarded, it became a double-edged sword. And later on, they would come back. Like after like the newer ones just stopped working, they're like, let's go back to do the Nazi thing again and again and again. It got repetitive. So there is also the Trancers 3-pack, the Squid packs they call them. Squids is like the name that he uses, like that Jack Death uses for like people that people that he really don't like Trancer squids. So the Trancer series is really well done, and it hinges on the main actors, and we're not talking like little actors in this. We got some really good actors, of course, like Tim Thomerson, like epitomizes the role of Jack Death. It's like, if you've never seen a Trancers film, it is a space movie and a film noir kind of rolled up in one. That's exactly what a Trancers film is. The first film, oh God, what was her name? Not Meg Ryan. The girl from she acts with Paul Reiser. Helen Hunt, right? Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt's actually in the first one. The second one actually is pretty good. It's better than I remembered it. Then you get like the third film, Death Lives, and there's a bonus feature on the first disc, which is like a short, kind of like a short 30-minute film. Thank you. Which is Trancer City of Angels, and it basically was like it was a film. There's going to be this anthology film. It was going to have like called Pulse Pounders, and it was going to have like Trancers and like a couple other like shorts in it. It was like wasn't finished, but the Trancers short was done. So basically, they took the short out of it, and they actually put it as a special feature on there. Trancers 4, I think, is the one without Jack Death, if I'm correct, because I'm pretty sure that Charles Bay and Tim Thomerson at one point had a falling out, and due to this, the not so much recasted, but they got like a female, like a girl, to play pretty much like was Jack Death's daughter or something like that, I think, and like pretty much or some related to Jack Death, kind of takes over like the Trancer hunting thing. Trancers are these these creatures that get outside people's bodies. It's pretty standard sci-fi fare, but it's really well done, and it's all like for these it depends on the actors, and the actors are really good. Yeah, especially in the first 3 Trancers films. There is a Dollman Action Pack 3 Blu-ray set here, running at 18 as well. Let's see what's on that one. See if that's worth anybody picking up. So this one looks to have Dollman, which is Tim Thomerson playing a different character. That's pretty much Jack Death with a different name. And Dollman is basically a guy named Brick Bardo, and he is on this planet. He's this real tough guy, this Dirty Harry style cop, and he goes down to Earth to fight like a Sprug, or I think Sprig or Sprug. I think it's Sprug. To fight his nemesis. I'm not going to bother looking for it. But the thing is, like, the planet they're on turns out it's much smaller than Earth. So he's this tough guy on his planet, and he's like the figure, literally a doll man. He's 13 inches with attitude. Is the thing. So there was meant to be a Dollman sequel rather than do just a regular sequel. There was a series called Demonic Ties, and and that's on here as well. So the Demonic Ties is on here as well. So then there's Dollman versus Demonic Ties, and Dollman. It's not just a crossover of Dollman and Demonic Ties actually. There was another film. God, it was about a radio station actually. One Successful Human. And you guys probably remember this better than I will. But there was like, because there was some great music in some of these full moon films, like some really great like soundtracks and that. But one of them, I think might be called Bad Channels actually. So, because Dollman versus Demonic Ties is actually a crossover between Dollman, the girl from Bad Channels, and the Demonic Ties as well. So it's actually a 3-way kind of crossover between 3 films. But that Dollman action set gives you Dollman versus Demonic Ties, and Demonic Ties. The first Demonic Ties is really good. The second Demonic Ties you don't want to talk about too much. We just won't go there. There is a Puppet Master Axis of Evil collection, which I think are going to be the crappy Puppet Master films that I do not recommend picking up. Yeah, it's got like Axis of Evil, Axis Rising, and Axis Termination. This is what I call like kind of the downfall of Puppet Master. They're by far and large, like if you think the clips were Puppet Master films were bad, at least you got some clips from some good movies. And here you're not getting that. You're so not getting that. If you like really bad Z grade stuff, it's kind of fun to watch, but it's not something like if it's your first watch for like a Puppet Master, don't go there for the first watch. Delirium magazine is the magazine to do, which is kind of like it's actually a pretty good magazine, a horror hound style like magazine, glossy, great stuff like articles on like Texas Chainsaw Massacre '74, Tombs of the Blind Dead, Reanimator, Herschel Gordon Lewis, like something weird, Shockwaves. They do one with the Jack the Ripper cover, just some really cool stuff. And their magazines are like usually run at $10. They run like half price for $5. There's one with a it's not Barbara Cramps. Who is that? But they have some really cool stuff with the with Delirium magazine. They got an Argento issue if you're a Giallo fan. They also have these big box like Wizard ones, which I really recommend checking out the website later on to really see that stuff. You never gotten a full moon? Oh, see, there's certain ones I think you just got to get the right full moon. Now you got to remember, Jesse, that I literally I'm a full moon kid. When I was going to college, that's when full moon was popular. Like basically what we would do, like there was like a couple video stores, like one that I was really familiar with, is I'd go to the video store, we'd rent like one of the movies, usually a Pop Master or something like that, whatever came out, whatever new full moon was coming out. And we'd get some drinks and we'd like sit in the commons room, we'd watch the full moon film and have a few drinks. And sometimes we'd like play Risk or something like that because we were big geeks. And then went out and danced for the rest of the night, got drunk and stuff. Because that's college, right? So the big boxes are really nice, actually. What it is, it's so like if you like Head the Family. I haven't seen that one in a long time. I really got to look back at that one. Yeah, the 80s and early 90s. That it really is. I mean, I think 89 is when I went to college, and that was like prime full moon time. It was like prime time for full moon. Yeah, like if you're a U.S. in the United States, the Up All Night, like the show, Ronnie Shear, I think was the host of that one. One of the hosts, anyway. That would be like, you'd remember. It'd be something in your childhood. But if you collect VHS, they got some big box VHS, and they're gorgeous. I mean, they're really gorgeous looking VHS. I did actually, but I don't mind going through them again. Because they have some nice Franco stuff, some stuff that you don't normally see around. So let me just get back to that. I will show you. Well, I don't know if I'll show you, but I'll tell you. I also want to open up that Ultimate Puppet Master trunk as well to see what exactly that has. And they got like some of their DVDs on there too, like Pet Shop, Daytime Ended, like some of their kids' DVDs as well. Here we go. And the Jess Franco set is down to $42, which isn't bad actually for 10 DVDs. So you're looking at Barbed Wire Dolls, which definitely is a classic, in my opinion. Anyway, I like Franco. Blue Rita, Jack the Ripper, which again, awesome. Love Letters of a Portuguese Nun, Love Camp. Oh, did you? Nice, Lewis. Love Marquis de Sade, Sexy Sisters, Slaves, well, Women in Cell Block 9. This actually was a hard one to find at one time. And Voodoo Passion. And see if I can show you here. Hold on. I'll do my best. My computer. So when you get them, they make this here, this picture. So this is what is going to look like in your movie case. Hopefully that helps out. The Puppet Master set is mega expensive. It's $250. But if you got the bones for it, it's an awesome set. You're looking at everything from Puppet Master right up until probably the last Axis one, more than likely. Trying to get like a, it comes in like in a case. Oh, that is so sexy though. Like it's definitely, like, if I had the money, I would definitely go for it. What is Arcana of the Puppet Master? I do not know what the hell that is. Is that like a double? Is that a features bonus features disc? So okay, so it's got something called Arcana of the Puppet Master, which I'm guessing is bonus features. It's got Puppet Master, Puppet Master 2, Puppet Master 3, Puppet Master 4, Puppet Master 5, Curse of Puppet Master, Retro Puppet Master. I like Retro actually. Puppet Master The Legacy, that's the one that everybody's talking about when they say the ones that has the clip show. Puppet Master Access Vivo, Access Rising, Access Termination. They're bad films, but they're fun to watch. Like if you got a bunch of friends around, basically. Same as like a Mystery Science Theater, right? If you got a bunch of friends around, and I kind of want to show you guys this. Let me see if I can do this. So, here we go. So this is the Puppet Master set, right? But what's neat is that this is a chunk right here that it comes in. I can't lie, that's if I had to split, I had like, you are not gonna go dead on me. If I had like an infinite amount of income, definitely get those. I missed a comment there, I know I did. I know, but it's so cool. I love the Puppet Masters like sets. I'm tempted. Like I'm always tempted on them. I got like a really one from, and I gave it to my kids because they're huge Puppet Master fans, and it was like it had everything on it, all the full moon, like the video zones and stuff up to that point anyway. The so there's Return the Zombie on here, which is got a big box one. If you, I do recommend checking out like the website because the big box VHS are gorgeous looking. The art on them are incredible. You know, the movie Trauma is here, not the Argento one. Oasis of the Zombies actually has a picture that makes you want to see it. Demoniac is here. Virgin Among the Living Dead. Fear, Breeders. These are all VHS, by the way. I'm showing talking about right now. Like really nice looking VHS ones. Big box VHS, like the old school. If you remember the ones that like used to come out back in the day with like the Wizard videos or the stuff that came out with the like the Silver Danning Action Theater, stuff like that. I know, but it's not the same. I got I got a dollar store version of Puppet Master, so I could give my kids the expensive version of Puppet Master that I had. But one of these days, I'll get like a good set. Headless Eyes, Blood Castle, gorgeous cover. Tormentor, I Spit in Your Grave, big box VHS if you're a fan of that. Zombie, you know, the Fulci one, like with the original like cover for that. Monster Hunter, Space Wizards, I don't know, Space Vampires, The Screaming Dead, SS Experiment, Dream Maniac. I've got a story about Dream Maniac. So, I was raised with my grandparents. I didn't get to see my dad a lot, basically. I got to see my mom every once in a while because I went to live with my mom. But my dad, well, unfortunately, until I was older, so I was about 18 when I really got to like really connect with my dad. But when I was younger, we got to spend a couple nights when I'd be in town. I'd go over and talk to my dad, and I'd see my stepmom, and we'd usually watch a horror movie together because they knew I was a big horror fan. So one night, we're at the video store. We're upstairs. There's this video store upstairs. This convenience store, and we're looking for a movie, and we find Dream Maniac. And I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan. Actually, my dad pulled some strings so that like when Nightmare on Elm Street came out on DVD, sorry, on VHS back in the day, we actually got to watch it like the day before it was released, and in the video store. So that was kind of cool. So we said, Dream Maniac, this should be fun. Has anybody here seen Dream Maniac before I go any farther? Because let me show you. This is actually the cover. Now, if you're expecting to see that in the film, keep dreaming. That ain't gonna happen. Is it really? So basically, there's these kids, and they're having like a sleepover party type thing, and there's this new girl, and she's invited over, and everybody's like doing team party type things. So anyway, don't want to spoil this for you, but the movie's been out since the early 80s, so I'm sorry. But anyway, she's a succubus. So, ouch, if you're a guy. And she kills a bunch of people. And then, at the end of the movie, after her reign of terror, she's covered in blood. She's chasing the lead actress. And then her dad comes in. And he's like, hi, I hope she wasn't too much of a problem tonight. And then he takes her home. And then it cuts to, big twist here. A guy sitting at a computer and he's like, yeah, I just wrote the best story ever. And I'm thinking, no, you didn't. And then we see blood on his computer. But it is so hilarious. And there's like a list of like the credits like going up for the film afterwards. Like catering and transportation. And like, I remember my stepmom at the time looked at us and she was like, it was in one house. Like, she's, what was the transportation? Were they carrying actors around on their backs? This was horrible. It was a really horrible film that we really enjoyed. But anyway, that's my Dream Maniac story. Savage Island, a big box of that one. That looks really nice. Erotic Kill. I would love to have some of these big box stuff. I think there was actually. I don't know if I've seen it though. I've seen the original Head the Family like a long time ago. I remember that there was a store in Canada called Zellers. It was around for a long time. Actually, I forgot. But they used to have like we got in a bunch of like VHS, like Full Moon VHS, and I know Head of the Family, Vampire Journals, a few of those came in, and they were like, I guess budget price at the time, like 15, 20 bucks each, which was budget price for VHS at the time. They're a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I think there was a sequel. I know there's a sequel planned. I don't know if it was done because I didn't see it myself. All right, Zombie Lake is here. Erotic Kill, which actually was really cool. Fallen Devil, Escape. There's a lot of these like if you're a VHS collector, this is like and you know, 25 bucks is okay for a VHS one. Trilogy of really? That I love Trilogy of Terror. Like if you're like a fan of VHS stuff though, like definitely look at this because there's some decent stuff here, and some beautiful covers that you can display really well in your collection. The Beast is here. Zombie-thon. I got Zombie-thon on DVD actually. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll go over there and I'll get some of my full moons just to give you an idea. Blood Dolls. Was that a spinoff? I did not know Blood Dolls was a spinoff. Probably because I haven't seen Blood Dolls actually. I don't know actually. Trauma. I don't think so. Nobody's mentioned it to me. White Slave, The Possessor, Hell Train. The Best of Sex and Violence was a kind of a clip thing that they did. My God, there's so many of these VHS ones. Visible Dead, Mandingo. If you know Mandingo, it was like a really famous film. Famous TNA. And then you get into like some of their DVD stuff. Like they got like some DVD sets here. Like Bunker of Blood, 2 Deadly Dolls, which was a bunch of like doll films. Death Heads, Brain Drain, which are which ran 3 random like movies on each one. Well, not random, like 3 movies. Like I'll go into like a couple of them, show you. So like say if you're like a DVD collector and you want to get like some Full Moon, get like a combination type thing. Yep. With famous TNA, I think that is Sybil Danning, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. Like there's, I don't want to say any famous TNA of John Carradine. But so the Deadly Dolls Deepest Cuts has Blood Dolls, Doll Graveyard, Dangerous Worry Dolls. Wait a minute. So they can't have all of them. Okay, so this is a compilation. So Bunker Blood 2 is a compilation one. Bunker of Blood 4 is Vampire Slaughter. Is that another compilation one? Yeah, framed by motion comic that literally illustrates the evil adventure. Full Moon's Bunker of Blood is an 8-part feature film series designed to turn stomachs and make your eyeballs bleed. Doesn't sound like my type of thing. But if you like that stuff, if Corey's here. But yeah, that's so. Trying to see if there's more stuff here. I'm going to look to the media, look into the Blu-rays and DVDs to see if everything's on sale, basically. So we got this. So it's not everything that's on sale. Looks like I mean, like there's decently priced stuff here, like $14.95 sets and stuff like that. But it's a shame that they don't have some of the other stuff, like the art collections on sale. Like it's $20 now. It's not too bad. And the unfortunately, Full Moon. I got to know what's good. If Doll Graveyard. I think I got that one here. Basically, I'm just browsing right now. If I get anything else at this point, guys, this like basically the month of May alone, I got like 29 Vinegar Syndromes, and I got like 4 box sets from Arrow Video. I got 2 more Arrow things coming. I got 6 things from the Code Red sale. Hey, movie archives. So if I manage to get something else, it's gonna be a friggin' miracle. But some of the other ones are on sale here. Let me just check. So this Sinful Strippers. I have no idea what Sinful Strippers is. I think I ran out of room, sort of. But I basically I just keep going like upstairs. Like you guys know, I do some of my videos upstairs now. I got my desktop computer, which is my iMac, which I used to use for videos. So I do some videos up there, and I'm gonna put like a small like shelf up there, and I want to get another display shelf from IKEA, like the kind of the glass ones, because I got a lot of box sets. I'm gonna kind of like get some shelf space, like done by getting the box sets up there. Hey, Todd Collector, welcome back, dude. Actually, watched one of your videos earlier, one of your earlier ones. I was checking something out. I have no idea what Sinful Strippers is. It's very unfull moonish. Oh, it really is. Okay, so Stormy Daniels in Bad Girls at Play, Strippers Exposed, and Backstage Raw. So I guess it really is like 3 movies about about strippers. I don't know. Maybe the Stormy Daniels one? Yeah, I'll go with that. No, I won't be getting that. Trust me, I won't be getting that one. There is, okay, on sale is the Evil Bong. If you're a fan of Evil Bong, I'm not a big fan of it, but if you're a fan of it, there's an 8 DVD Evil Bong set for like 40 bucks. That's there. I The worst Evil Bong is actually the one I thought was going to be the best, which is Evil Bong versus the Ginger Dead Man. I thought maybe between the two of them they could salvage one good film. They couldn't. They really really couldn't. Nope, not at all. So they got a couple of variant DVDs. They're on sale for $6 as well. Variant means they got like a different cover. Think like a comic book with a variant cover. That's like I said before. If you're here from the beginning of the video, Charles Band is a huge comic book fan. So a lot of the stuff that he does and that he puts into his films are basically comic book oriented stuff. He takes a lot of stuff from comic books, and I mean that in the best possible way. So okay, now here we go. Blu-rays are $10 each. Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death is a comedy one with Shannon Tweed from right from Newfoundland. So we are both Newfoundlanders. Pet Shop is a really cool one. Somebody actually mentioned that they got Pet Shop. I think Vincent Price would get the humor in it. Like overall, uh, he would like he'd probably roll his eyes, but he'd get it. Um, Peter Cushing might he would like, be like, it is what it is. That's what I think actually. But because let's be honest, they like later on in the years, they every all those pretty much probably had to do certain things that the evil bongs of their day. You know what I mean? Like unfortunately, not everybody could have this huge career comeback that like like people like Christopher Lee did. Bill Maher. I I I I I can't like Bill Maher because I watch movies with him in it, but the Stan Lee thing bothered me, like the comic book thing bothered me with Bill Maher. That really bugged me. But I did, politics wise, we were pretty on par with that. But like when he did the comic book thing and really down like comics and stuff like that as a medium, that really got to me. But yeah, Bill Maher's in this. Bill Maher's in House 2 as well, actually. I mean, he's actually good in that one. He's actually not good. He's sleazy. He plays sleazy really well. But like maybe there's a good reason for that. Pet Shop is a great one for kids. So if you haven't seen that one, like if you got the kids, that's kind of cool one. The Day Time Ended, is that one of the Josh Kirby Time War Master ones? I'm not sure. Because they did like a series of these. Dennis Miller went nuts. I was a huge. Here's something that like a lot of people actually don't know, and I have mentioned it here before. I think at a point in my life, stand up was something that I looked into because I was big into theater. I was really big in improv, and I did like a lot of improv, which I'm not gonna lie is excellent for this type of format that I'm doing right now. But I looked into stand up. I went to like some comedy clubs when I was much too young. I got to see some really great people perform. And Dennis Miller had this like razor sharp, like kind of like dry humor, but he knew he was good at what he did too much. And then and then stuff happened, and he went like really crazy and like in my opinion. And it was really disappointing because he started so good. Well, I think he started good anyway. Okay, no, okay, no, so the Daytime End is back from 1979. Jim Davis, okay, yes, from Dallas. Dorothy Malone, Christopher Mitchum. You guys got the Savage Harbor. You see him in that. Great, like cover art. I do a commentary with Wayne Schmidt and Paul Gentry, who I'm guessing have something to do with the film. Oh, who did the screenplay? We got like so there's Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity is there for $10. Blades, 4th of July. Oh, here's something interesting. They always have a mystery bag in Full Moon or a mystery box. By the way, Full Moon has the most expensive. Oh, Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald is just so dry. Like here's a guy like, okay, I like Norm Macdonald. I don't know what his stances on other things are, but I just like some of his early stuff. So Blade has a 4th of July mystery bag. So Blade's a character from Puppet Master, but he always does mystery bag for every sale. So it's like $40, and basically what it is celebrate Independence Day the Puppet Master way with Blade's 4th of July grab bag. Oh, I'm also Canadian, and yeah, there's a certain. You'll notice that maybe it's because we were stuck with cold weather or whatever, but Canadians have a certain sense of humor, and you can after watching like a few You can see it. Like you can kind of see this kind of like this dry, sardonic sense of humor. Very self-effacing. And nice little twists on it. I'm very proud of our Canadian like humor, actually. So you don't know what's in it. You spend $40, mystery bag. You get it. It could be like movies, action figures. You don't know. It's a grab bag. That's like that's I actually find kind of cool. You can buy like the single like the Puppet Master movies one on their own here. Uh, Here's a quality film, Pit and the Pendulum, which actually is a really good one. Lance Henriksen's in that one. Jeffrey Combs is in that one. I think Oliver Reed, actually, one of his later ones, right? That's the thing with stand-up, man. There's a lot of demons. No truer words were spoken than like that person that's always trying to make you smile, the person that's always, you know, trying to light up the room is often battling some demons themselves. Often the darker person in reality. We see stuff like that with Robin Williams, and we've seen like so many like comedians, unfortunately, that have like shone bright and like went fast. That's because at the end of the day, here's the thing: to be a comedian, to be someone like that, you basically get out on that stage every day, and for comedy, like for good comedy, like that seems real. It comes from you, and comedy, where's the best comedy come from? It comes from your personal experience. It comes from your personal pain. So you get out on that stage and you cut yourself open and you expose your insides, like not actually, but you know what I mean, on daily, like every night you're going out there and you're cutting into those wounds to like basically say, this happened. This was my life. This was when I was like, this was when I was like, this was when I was homeless. This was when I was on drugs. This was my girlfriend cheated on me. And you're going out there and they're laughing. And the more they laugh, the deeper you go. And you pour a little bit more salt in that wound. And it makes it hard sometimes to, when you come off the stage, like you've bared your soul, you bared yourself, your whole existence, and in a comedic way. So you do well. They're laughing, and you're glad you're on the high of them laughing. But it's those experiences, that time, that stuff, the darkness is still there. And often you find ways to compensate for that, like drinking or drugs. So there, I went to a dark spot. But as a hey Brian, hey Cubic Lover, how's it going? I got to say something right now. Speaking of Brian's, I'm super proud of. No, not close enough to see the fireworks. I don't. I kind of want to say something. Let's just say to, Happy Independence Day. Better luck next year. I guess it's Happy Independence Day anyway. But yeah, tanks should not be running through streets. It's my personal opinion. I almost put that on as my Facebook thing, but I thought it would offend somebody, and I really don't want to do that. But I knew you guys could take a joke, so I was okay. So Castle Freak, fantastic. Somebody mentioned it on here. Castle Freak is a fantastic full moon film. It's very H.P. Lovecraft. The makeup design is extremely well done. Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. This is probably one of their best. Best thing. I just lost 2 viewers just as I said that. So I know some people are like, I'm gonna get some downloads for this one. Sorry. Is just do so well in this one here. Just great stuff. Getting by Dom at Tourist Trap. is on here as Blu-ray. If the DVD is on here, I'll check for you after. I recommend the DVD tourist trap. It's really well done. The Blu-ray don't get it because the Blu-ray's cut. That's true. The Blu-ray of Tourist Trap is cut. Yeah, Castle Freak's incredible. I think that the Blu-ray for Castle Freak has Evil Clergyman on as well, which was like a short film. That again was done for Pulse Pounders, I think. There's Demonic Ties. You can buy transfers on its own. Dr. Mordred, which is actually a kind of cool one. You're a fan of like comics and you like Doctor Strange, Marvel Comics, that type of thing. So basically, the behind the scenes is that Dr. Mordred was apparently supposed to be a Doctor Strange film, and they lost the rights. Oh, you like it, Ty Collector. I think you will. I think you like Dr. Mordred too, actually. They lost the rights to do a Doctor Strange film. So they were, they had a lot of the stuff set up for the film anyway. So they made this other film, Dr. Mordred, which actually would have made a pretty good Doctor Strange film. I actually did like Dr. Mordred a lot, and it's Jeffrey Combs. We got Trophy Heads, which was a newer one. I haven't seen it. Vampire Journals I actually liked. Vampire Journals is one that you probably should put out around the time that they did those Twilight films, because I think that would have been like because it is a more romantic style one, but it actually has some nice acting in it. Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama. Everybody's shown that one. It's lots of. I like a lot of them. Like have decent features. So, is there anyone that you're interested in? Like, is there anything that you're kind of leaning towards? Like, because I'll be honest with you, Dave, basically the way it is, they started features. Like they started doing it basically back in the VHS days. So I'm just going to open one at random, basically. Let's go with Transfers 2, for instance. Just, I think they show the features on here. Do they? Please tell me. So you get things like, audio commentaries, the original Video Zone making of featurettes are on there. So basically those featurettes that used to be on there back in the day with like, they'd have making ofs and they'd have all kinds of cool stuff. In the background, like blooper reels, photo galleries, all that type of stuff. So yeah, you'll always get like features on like on a full moon disc. That's the cool. Lurking Fear is there, which is an okay. Like it's been a long time since I've seen Lurking Fear. That's again is another H.P. Lovecraftian one. Meridian was actually kind of cool. It's a Beauty and the Beast one with Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. So if you want to see, if for instance you're like, man, I wish I saw Sherilyn Fenn naked a lot, then Meridian is fun one to get. Fairy Tales is an early one. Actually, I think it was the Empire Pictures release, not so much a Full Moon. They must have done it, like put it on under their Full Moon label. Yeah, so Fairy Tales is like I think it's Linnea Quigley's first role. All H.P. Lovecraft. I'm a huge Lovecraft fan. When people read a lot of stuff that I wrote, my fictional stuff that I haven't published, it's very reminiscent of like a Lovecraftian style thing. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe were two like writers that had a strong like effect on me as a child. The first book I ever read was Edgar Allan Poe's Tales of Mystery and Imagination. I think I was about 4 or 5, 4 or 5, somewhere in there. But yeah, if you want to see like a naughty version of Fairy Tales, then and Linnea Quigley's first film, then there's Fairy Tales. So there's Dark Angel. They got a horrible cover for that, The Ascent. But actually, I like Dark Angel. It's kind of fun. Had the families there. The Creeps, which is, what's the politically correct term now? Is it little people? Is that right? I don't want to say the wrong term. But like Frankenstein, the Mummy, and Dracula, but like 3.5 feet tall or 3 feet tall type of thing. Hideous, I do not remember at all. Creepazoids, I kind of remember this an early one. That's like, I think that's Empire Pictures, just before they went to Full Moon. Then you get like a bunch of that. Laser Blast was fun. I remember watching Laser Blast when I was a kid. And they have like Blu-rays of some of these of Barbed Wire Dolls, actually, the Jess Franco one. So although the other ones don't have Blu-rays, the Barbed Wire Dolls does. I'm just going to check if there's any features on it for you guys. Robot Wars is there. Robot Wars is really fun. Robot Wars, Robot Jocks was kind of like a one that they did together. But yeah, their Jess Franco collection is so well done. Audio interview with director Peter Strickland on the films of Jess Franco, vintage VHS Franco trailer reel. So, there's some stuff. I would love to have the Jess Franco stuff. I was normally I'd say, you know, I've got a birthday. I don't have a birthday coming up, or I'd be like, guys, you can totally buy me this just Franco stuff. You can totally do that. So again, they mentioned the Blades bag here, but like way too much stuff. But I'll go through some of it, and like they did a lot of stuff on DVD. Oh, Tie Collector, have a good evening, by the way. Enjoy your July 4th. And thanks for coming in. There's a lot of stuff on DVD. I can't really go through it all. There's 200 and something like things mentioned here. Like, some of the cool, like later cheesy stuff. Like when he didn't have the rights to do like Puppet Master, he worked with Tempe Video, and did a bunch of stuff with them as well. Do you mind if I go grab a couple of my Full Moon things so I can like kind of give you an idea of some of the stuff? But there's some like great stuff here. Like Prison of Dead was kind of fun. The Talisman was a little bit weird. Totem, Tourist Trap on DVD. Yes, $6 for Tourist Trap on DVD. Grab it. I mean, like seriously, grab it. I'll be right back. I should have got ahead of time, but I just want to get this done tonight and get you guys set up. So I'm just gonna go with these for now, to kind of give you an idea. There were 6 transfers films apparently. Same attitude, different sex. So 88 Films in the UK had the rights to put out a lot of the Full Moon releases. Actually, 88 Films early stuff was a lot of Full Moon. So here, for instance, is Trancers. It's the cover that they did. The original cover for Trancers is right here. It says the VHS cover. And it's usually the same transfer, and the same features. So if you're in the UK, it might be cheaper. I don't think it's cheaper than this actually, unless the shipping's bad. To get it from like 88 Films or something. But there was that. But the one I want to kind of highlight, like the Puppet Master stuff, was like the first 3 Puppet Masters were the classic ones. So there was this Puppet Master 1, which has fantastic film. And if the features are the same, it's like commentary on here, like Video Zone, all that type of stuff. These are region free too, by the way. I know that this one had a UK exclusive commentary. That's why I picked it up actually, because I think I got it done on Blu-ray here. And these were Puppet Masters 2 and 3, and Castle Freak, which is one I strongly recommend. This is a really good one. This is being remade right now. Features on Castle Freak were incredible. There's a ton of them. Look. I'm pretty sure it's the same here. I do recommend Castle Freak. It's a Brian Yuzna. It's really good. So we got like, you get into like some of the cooler, cheesier stuff when it comes to the VHS, to the DVD stuff. You got stuff like Witch House, which is a fun little like series of films. Like kind of, they're straight to DVD stuff. It's super cheesy stuff, but they did 2 or 3 of the Witch House films. I did think they were kind of fun. Yeah, like if you like special features, they got some good special features on here. Like there's there's like their cheesy stuff. I don't want to spend too much on the erotica stuff. If you like that, you can go into. Not that I don't like it. It's just that kids watch too, so we won't go too much into that. Like they have some really strange stuff here. Oh my God, there's a lot of this stuff. Ginger Dead Man, like Gary Busey was in the first one for like a very short period of time. Shrunken Heads was the movie. Ironically, Shrunken Heads was going to be their. They felt so strongly, but Shrunken Heads at the time, I totally blows my mind. But they felt so strongly. I remember about Shrunken Heads that was going to be their first theatrical feature. Because you have to understand, Full Moon were never films that went into the theater. No, they were like straight. Their business model was straight to VHS and later on straight to DVD. And to get to give like they have like an the kind of like one of the first aside from Universal Horror, I guess, one of the first interconnected worlds, and and have it like really a fan accessible type of company, and that's what Full Moon wanted to do. Yeah, Shrunken Heads was going to be their first like feature film. It blows my mind when I think about that now. God, there's a lot of these erotic ones here. Killjoy was like a series that was done kind of like an evil clown series. I actually won a contest, a Full Moon contest once, and it's over there somewhere. I got Killjoy 3, like I won it. And it's actually pretty good. Trent Haga took over the role. There's a different guy playing Killjoy in the first film. He was okay. But I liked Trent Haga. Like when he took over the role of Killjoy, I thought he just seemed creepier. And like, not really creepy, but you know, like just more like, I felt more threatened. Killer Eye Party Pack, what the heck that is. Now, they do this series called The Full Moon Grindhouse. Oh, God, I wanted to show those to you. Oh, I got one right here. So, just bear with me for 1 second. So, take me a sec. This is going to help. So, Full Moon Grindhouse is basically Full Moon's like series where they like there's usually not many features, if any features on them, but it's like older kind of like films. And this is a Grindhouse collection here, and it has Zombie-thon, Film Gore, and Linda Blair and Savage Island. So I got this because basically these are two compilation ones that came out on VHS back then. I like Linda Blair. I like anything she's in, even if she's only in the kind of the beginning and end of the film, because they shot them differently. So these sets here, by the way, though, they each have their own artwork on like own poster artwork on there. So it's not like three films put on one disc or anything like that. They each have their own disc. These here, I don't think have any features on them except for some trailers, basically. Because these are like just the Grindhouse ones. I don't think they put a lot of like features on these. They don't actually mention it here if they do. When Full Moon was working, like their other stuff they did stuff like this. I don't know if this is on the website. I had a lot of fun with this movie. It's not a good movie, I'm not going to lie to you. But I for some reason, I like it. And I really love the cover to it. And this is a movie called Bleed. You can tell it's very much like a kind of a Screamish style knockoff. But I dug this one. I'm not even gonna pretend it's a good movie, but I just liked it. I just really like this one, and I really love this cover. This is one of my favorite covers. She isn't. It's a shame. I hope like it was for a good reason or something. Like not. I hope it wasn't an animal didn't die, but you know that definitely, because she is like a major proponent of like animal rights, and I really respect Linda Blair. And of course, this was the original like cult video like laser blast that came out, which was really fun. If you've seen this movie, it's better than this cover makes it look out to be. I found this at like a used shop that's actually closed down now. They had like a bunch of like auto parts and stuff, and then right in the corner they had like a few like old VHS, and like they had a few like maybe a handful of DVDs and stuff like that. And I like went through them. I found Laser Blast, and I found a couple of those Star Wars ones where they, you know, the 2-disc ones where they had the remastered and the original cut on it. A couple of those. So yeah, there's Best of Sex and Violence here, Famous TNA, sorry, Savage Island, Dream Maniac, Auditions. Auditions is an early one as well. Well, all these are all Grindhouse ones, by the way. Zombie-thon, White Slave, Necropolis, Mutant Hunt, and Film Gore. So those like they're on their own. I got like a 3-pack of them there. And there's stuff like I Vampire, the Trilogy of Blood. I don't know those. Not gonna lie to you. If I see something and I don't know it, I love Blood Rage. Blood Rage is is actually a really cool film. I actually recently bought a film that was oh God, it was by the same director. A very different film. I got it over there. As Blood Rage was what came out under Arrow Video. Uh, one of the Thanksgiving horrors, Thanksgiving slash horrors. And actually had the girl from I think it's Mary Hartman, if I remember correctly. A really cool, kind of quirky film. And one of the guys that works like in special effects a lot, he plays like the kind of like the boyfriend in it, and he gets so he gets killed anyway. So, but actually, I really like Blood Rage. Two films. Then I have them both. Let me just see. I'm gonna just because I got them both, and they're very very different. I think it might be like the Southern Gothic one that he did. Yeah, Lewis Lassler. So all filmography. Is it Scalpel? Did you do Scalpel? Yep, Scalpel. Scalpel's the other one he did. And the other film is incredible too. Scalpel is amazing. So they're both put up by Arrow Video, by the way. Uh, if you like Blood Rage, which is kind of more of a, you're correct. If you like, which is very kind of like over the top, cheesy, fun type stuff with some really unique performances and some big actors, then you'll probably like. Then his other films, polar opposite, very different. It's much more of a laid back Southern Gothic thriller type of thing, but is equally good as a film. I find that it's really fun watch. So apparently there's three Witch House movies because there's Witch House Demon Fire, Legacy Continues. Tales from the Grave, I don't know what that is. Crash and Burn was a fun one. That's along the series like stuff like Robot Jocks and like and Robot War, stuff like that. The Shadow Zone was a movie that I was trying to think about that was kind of like the early pre-Full Moon Empire Pictures one. That's kind of a fun little one there to check out as well. Bad Channels is one I was talking about. It has a great soundtrack, actually, Bad Channels does. I want to see what's on the features on here, because this is a DVD. But they had some good music on Bad Channels. Yeah, Bad Channels with music composed and performed by Blue Oyster Cult. So, obviously, they got some decent music on there. Charlie Spradling, who is in this one. She's in a lot of the stuff. There's just some great music. If you can get the soundtrack to Bad Channels, it's actually a really good soundtrack. But there's so much. I mean, there's so much here that's available on sale. There's over almost 300 titles in DVD. There's Invisible, The Chronicles of Benjamin Knight, and Mandroid. There were kind of continuations in the superhero series that they did, along with like with the other with Dr. Mordred. And I think Invisible is kind of is that like a sequel or kind of like a extremely cheap. Like these are $6, man, for like for a DVD, like $10 for a Blu-ray. That's pretty good. Arcade is a favorite of mine, actually. I really used to like that one back in the day. If you're a fan of like soap operas, for instance, the guy that played Lucas, actually, I think his name is Brian Detello, on Days of Our Lives. He is in Arcade. But yeah, you could like easily fill up your bag with like a bunch of stuff from here. Deported Women of the SS Special Section. Riot in a Women's Prison. Caged Women is here. Well, a lot of SS Hell Camp, a lot of those SS films are here. Unlucky Charms, that's one of the newer ones. Blood of a Thousand Versions is actually a compilation disc. He did one called Ooga Booga. And I'm not sure who's familiar with this, but I've only seen like trailers of it, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of offensive. It's definitely different. Yeah, we just go with that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Tormentor, Possessor is here. Spooky Town, which is like a kids one. That's one spooky adventure. A lot of kids stuff here. Tiny Kingdom. If you got like kids, this is actually a good place to go too, because you got like these really kind of cool little kids movies done like kind of a low budget, but they're fun and like rather than just the generic, you got everybody got like the Disney stuff and you got like the stuff that you see in the store type of thing, but these are just some fun films with a little bit of heart and like a little bit of like some fantasy stuff. Shandar, the Shrunken City, the Tiny Kingdom, Medieval Park, the Timekeeper series, the Josh Kirby series. They're fun little films to put on for kids, and that's something different that than you normally see. There's a ton of these like grindhouse ones. I love the grindhouse ones. They're my favorites. Thor the Conqueror sold it apparently. Uh, Zambo, Legend of the Werewolf Woman, Helicized, Trauma, Blood Dolls there. Babes Behind Bars is another compilation disc. They got a lot of these compilation ones there. Frauleins in Uniform, Fraulein. They got, man, there's so many of these like Nazi exploitation films. And something called PMS Cops. Haunted Casino, I remember that one. Mansion of the Doomed is the most gorgeous cover. Is that an early one? I'm trying to remember if that's one I've seen. And feel free to not be quiet and say stuff, because if it's just me talking, you're gonna get bored real fast. Yeah, Mansion of Doom's 1976. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover, by the way, guys. Uh, Gloria Graham, Trish Stewart, Lance Henriksen. Well, wow. That's special effects by Stan Winston. Was it really? Was Kickstarter funded one? I didn't know that. I'm beyond other stuff. But yeah, so there's some early stuff there. That's actually kind of cool. Full Moon also has a streaming service, by the way. I'm not quite sure of the price of the streaming service, but they don't only have Full Moon stuff on their streaming service. They also have things, for instance, like they have like Blue Underground films and like other films like that on their streaming service as well. Now, just so like the Klaus Kinski, like the Jess Franco stuff, they have features on them. So basically, like Jack the Ripper comes with an audio commentary, rare deleted scenes, ripping yarn, like restoring Jack the Ripper, audio interview with Jess Franco, Franco Bloody Franco, and the original theatrical trailer. I remember I was going to support one of their stuff just to get one of those like full moon like boxes. Did you ever get one of those full moon like a mystery box? I love those things. I never got one, but I watched like so many unboxings of them. Like, and they'd have like like 6 or 7 like DVDs and the Blu-ray in there and like a episode of issue of Delirium magazine, all that stuff. I've actually thought about it, but we got like so much streaming stuff right now. We really can't yet put on like another one. Like when we got the Criterion one, I thought about if the Criterion one didn't work out, we'd get rid of the Criterion, get the Full Moon one. But the Criterion was actually pretty good. I've been watching a few things on there. I actually, because usually if I want to buy Criterion, I'll watch the Criterion's thing now, and I'll say, yeah, that really, I really want to own that thing. I like that. Actually, I respect that, Warlock. That's something that I should do more of. When I actually have the money to do it, I will actually. But there's like a ton of stuff here, guys. I mean, like without even getting into like everything, I'm just like I'm still scrolling down. I'm like basically like mentioning things when stuff is interesting to mention. I would love that one. I would kill for this Just Franco box set. I really would. It is awesome. Cutthroat is there, which I got actually. Cutthroat is kind of like the killer. It's kind of like a scarecrow-y looking guy. The Dead Hate the Living, which actually is a really good film. Oh, I might try that actually. Deathbed, the bed that eats. I'm not joking. That's the thing. That's here. Dr. Alien with Judy Landers, the gorgeous Judy Landers. Head of the Family is here. Killjoy 1, 2, and let's see Killjoy 3 here though. Well, Killjoy 3 is called something else, I think. They have the Oblivion films here, Netherworld, which is okay, I guess. Real Naughty Housewives. When did they start doing this stuff? I'm like out of the loop when it comes to the more adult-oriented stuff that they did. No, I'm not an innocent when it comes to this stuff. I know my stuff. I I don't think Deathbed is a comedy. Maybe unintentionally. Maybe an unintentional comedy. If you like Jess Franco, if you're a fan of Jess Franco stuff, then 9 chances out of 10 you're a big fan of an actress by the name of Lena Romay, even if you don't know it. She's in a lot of his stuff. They were together, and she passed, actually, and then after she passed, he passed shortly after. So, okay. One of her more erotic films, I think if it's not X-rated, it's pretty close to X-rated, is a film called Rolls Royce Baby. And Full Moon put it out. So if you're interested in Lena Romay, she was a gorgeous, gorgeous lady, by the way, um, and you want to see like what's considered one of her kind of best like erotic films, which I had no idea that Full Moon had the rights to. I expected that to come out sometime under Vinegar Syndrome or somewhere like that. Yes, Rolls Royce Baby. This was one that she did like with I think Erwin Dietrich. It wasn't actually done by uh, by uh, by Jess Franco, but really, really, really popular. Wow, no, that it does like it throws me for a loop because I'm starting to see that they have some very early stuff on here that's actually really good. That film, actually, if you like that style of film, it's actually really good. Um, yeah, they've gotten the rights to some films that kind of blows my mind, like some early stuff that I'm definitely interested in, and I haven't even gotten to like the action figures or any of that stuff yet. But it's yeah, they got a few Erwin Dietrich films. I'm surprised they don't have a set on them. Like Young Seducers is an Erwin Dietrich film. They got that there as well. Um, and Calendar Girls. Yeah, I'm a big geek for this type of stuff. Calendar Girls is the third like young. There's like three Young Seducers films done by Erwin Dietrich. You can look them up to find like a little bit more information. Like it's good, obviously German, but Six Weeks in Paradise, A Virgin for Saint Tropez. This is probably not exciting anybody else but me, but yes, and of course like classic stuff like Intruder. Excellent, excellent slasher film. If you have not seen Intruder and you don't have it in your collection, I mean, really, Intruder's a really, really good slasher film. We got like a Bruce Campbell doing a cameo in there. Uh, oh, nice. The Sam Raimi, actually, the director Sam Raimi's in this one. We got like, oh God, we got, looks like I did it. It's directed by Scott Spiegel, really well done. Renee Estevez, Intruder. Intruder's really cool. It's set in this like, kind of like this convenience store, it's a grocery store, and it is so, so good, so well done. My stomach is rumbling. I will be going upstairs soon. I'm going to tell you that. Uh, and just like to like really quickly like mention the collectibles and stuff like that. They got like a few things. Like they got like some of their action figures, like Puppet Masters, like Blade, and a kind of a retro style figure, and like and a laser blast figure here for like $5 each. Um, their their replicas are really expensive, like $600. They're not on sale, unfortunately. The bobbleheads aren't bad though. Uh, Now the resin statues for Ghoulies and the Jack Attack, which is a really cool character from the Demonic Toys, is are on for $20 each, and they look really nice actually. We got cereal boxes. I'm not sure if the t-shirts are on sale or not. I don't think they are. Nope. Too bad. The t-shirts are really nice. And is there any other music on sale? Let's find out here because they got some. It's just a shame. They got some good music. There's some good CDs. Like I saw some of the Full Moon. Like if you ever seen, like check it sometime. The Full Moon mystery box unboxing. Some people got them online. I don't think they do the mystery boxes anymore. I don't know if they do. Honestly, I don't know. But they were like really, really good. They were expensive though. They were too expensive, especially for here. I had to pay a lot of money for like shipping for them. But I always wanted. I dreamed of getting like a full moon mystery box, or again like a bunch of full moon stuff. I was always. I'll be honest. Can I be honest with you guys? Oh, like, well, I'm always honest with you guys. Uh, I was always like along the lines of like one of these days, somebody's gonna like my channel that has a lot of full moon stuff that they want to get rid of. Yeah, those dreams you have. Delirium magazine is really fun too. I mean, there's a lot of really fun stuff here, guys. It's a great little sale. I don't know on on the shipping for their stuff, but definitely worth checking out. But that's $6 each, $10 for a Blu-ray, $18 for a box set. I mean, like there's some really good stuff there to look into. So there you go. That has been my full moon portion of this video, and I hope that that has like helped out because I keep getting asked to talk about full moon, and in my next video sometimes I'll get all my full moon stuff together. I'll put it. I should have done it this time, though I will. There's one that I do want to show you because I do want you to get this movie if you don't have it. Hold on. This DVD of Tourist Trap is uncut. The Blu-ray, unfortunately, has a different print of the film, a cut print of the film. Tourist Trap is a very underrated slasher film. It stars Chuck Connors. Think of it as Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Eaten Alive meets The House of Wax. It is uniquely done. It's well done. It's by director David Schmoller. I think that's right. There's actually a commentary for him on here. The music is done by the excellent Pino Donaggio, so you're solid all the way through. Actually has an early appearance by Tanya Roberts on here. Don't Mad Tourist Trap. This is, Ryan, this is one of my favorites. Like, and this has always been one of my favorites. And the opening, there's an opening sequence in this one here that kind of gives an almost supernatural, makes you think there's a kind of supernatural aspect to it. Yep, that's Tanya Roberts. It creeped me out. Like, it really creeped me out to this day. That opening sequence in the room with the mannequins and mannequin heads and stuff like that. It's still scares me. And I think a lot of it helps. Like we got like as low budget and stuff as this is. Chuck Connors is in this one. Jocelyn Jones is in this. Tanya Roberts. You got Pino Donaggio doing the soundtrack, which is pretty awesome. This is one time when you buy the DVD over the Blu-ray because this baby's uncut. Blu-ray is cut. Unfortunately, the Blu-ray is cut. But there, yeah, I have like odd taste. Warlock. That's one place where me and Joe Bob. That's when we agree. We disagree sometimes, but we agree on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I just looked at myself just a second ago, and I just saw my dad. You ever do that? Like just like look in the mirror, or look, and just like say, and just suddenly like see your parents, like staring back at you. Because I did. I just did. When I get into, when I go visit my dad again, I'm gonna try and get him into another video. Because I enjoyed doing videos with my dad actually when I was over in Cornbrook. We have fun. We did a couple, talked about some Hammer stuff, showed off some of his collection type of thing. If you saw those videos, then my dad was like a little shy, but he came out of his shell, which is actually kind of cool. because Dad's not like a shy person. He's actually very personable, much more than me. I'm a awkward little bunny, I think. But where's my grandmother? My grandparents. My grandfather passed away. My grandmother is home in her house now in Cowhead. She's much older. She's being taken care of. Um, Sorry, it's okay. No, my mom is actually right now. She's visiting my grandmother down there. My mom is in St. John's. She lives in St. John's, and that's where I used to live before I came here to Nova Scotia. And my kids moved here, and well, went down the wrong pipe. Well, my that's my grandparents actually. But my mom right now, she's in. We talk every once in a while. We try to talk more. We want to. Yeah, there's a Blu-ray version. Yeah, like if you listen to the commentary, Warlock, if you ever listen to the commentary, you'll notice that he'll talk about stuff that's not actually that you can't actually see in the film, and that's why. Because Charles Band half-assed it, and the cut that he took for the Blu-ray was a cut version of the film, and he never bothered to change it. That's the truth of the matter. And I think he put it out again, and he still put it with the cut version, as far as I remember. Like if anybody else knows, if he ever did an uncut version on Blu-ray, I don't think he has. I think that the version that he gave over to 88 Films also was a cut version of the film. And so this baby here, you get your hands on this one. This is the uncut version. And you can actually go online and actually, there's some places that'll actually tell you what's cut, so you get a good idea what's going on. Anyway, there we go, guys. I kept my promise. I did the full moon thing. Tell me. And I gotta get all this stuff upstairs yet. That's the worst thing about bringing like your stuff downstairs and like my computer and stuff like that is then it's gotta bring it all upstairs. And yeah, fun stuff. All right, I am Aaron. I hope you enjoyed this full moon sale look retrospective, looking at the company itself. I tried and I hope I succeeded in actually like diving deep into full moon, not just in the sale, but actually in some of the stuff that they did, and give you some recommendations for the sale that's going on right now. Thanks, George. And thank you everybody for coming in tonight. As always, happy late again today. Thank you. I am Aaron. Enjoy your 4th of July there. I am Aaron. You are the Movie Club. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. And yeah, it looks like it's time to get all the stuff put back. Have a good one.